Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be speaking on cheap perinatal for non-immigrants or international students. The cheap health coverage is a government insurance that provides prenatal and postpartum care for immigrants regardless of their status. So that means even if your status if your immigration status is non-immigrants, which you are as an international student, you can be covered on the CHIP for pregnancy while you're pregnant, and then your baby can be eligible for Medicaid when they are born. This is good news for non-immigrants and for F students. Personally, I have taken some of these benefits. In fact, I used CHIP twice, CHIP, CHIP perinatal twice when I was going to have my two kids. For the first one I used, I was an F2 student, a dependent of my husband, and the second one I had changed my status to F1. Of course, I didn't plan having a child at the time, but yeah, it happened. How do you cope as a student when you are on a budget? When you are a low income earner, maybe earning a little above $1,000 or about $2,000 or a little above $2,000, as the case may be, how can you survive? This is why it's important for me to share some of these benefits with you. Please, if you know you have not subscribed to my channel yet, click the subscribe button because I'm bringing to you tips and helpful information that will help you on your sail through the United States as non-immigrants, F students, international students, as the case may be. And I tell you, there is a lot of tips that you will be seeing on my channel. So if you're interested in any of these kind of topics, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you like this video already, and please share to those who you think this information might be helpful to. I have personally used CHIP before, and it's a government insurance that covers prenatal and postpartum care for international students that are pregnant or their dependents, especially pregnant women. This actually covers non-immigrants. Generally, it doesn't matter what your immigration status is, as long as you are non-immigrants. Sometimes you have planned that you're going to, oh yes, I've started having my kids before coming down to the United States, and I want to have my kids while I'm young. Or maybe it was not even planned. This insurance is going to help you cover your prenatal services. Every time that you go, just the way you go for prenatal at home, this covers all the services that pertain to the baby. That is important. Now, if you have a primary insurance, which you should have as an F student, or your dependent that is pregnant has a primary insurance, which I believe you will do. You don't want to leave your dependents without insurance. Your primary insurance that will be billed first before your CHIP insurance is billed. So if you have a deductible that you have to meet up with for service, you have to pay that premium or whatever the case may be. But definitely CHIP is going to take care of all the rest of your care that you need during your prenatal and up to the first 6 weeks of postpartum care until you are deemed fit and okay by your healthcare provider or your doctor, your gynecologist. Now, one thing you should note here is that CHIP perinatal is going to cover everything about your baby. If you have any health conditions that you have to manage while you are pregnant, if you have personal issues, I'll give an example: thyroid nodules, or you have personal stuff going on with you before the baby or before you got pregnant, or even while you're pregnant that is not directly related to the baby, you might be billed. You may be billed for those services because generally CHIP perinatal will only cover everything about your baby, your birth, during birth, after birth, and everything. They are going to cover all the expenses as long as it is not directly related to your health that would affect the baby. Also, is based on income eligibility, and that's why F students will generally fall under this, because if your household income is up to 202% of the federal poverty income level, which you would fall under, trust me, especially if you have your 2, 3 and you have kids, you will fall under this, then you qualify automatically. All you need to do is to place a call to the government agencies or the human resources around you where you live in your state. Do this ASAP and stop worrying if you're pregnant. I'll be putting a link in the description where you can read further on this CHIP. Medicaid is like the kind of program that kids here qualify for, but if you won't, because you won't qualify for it as a non-immigrant or as an immigrant sometimes. So this covers those people that are not covered under Medicaid. And as soon as your baby is born, also you have the opportunity to put the baby in Medicaid because they are automatically United States citizens. Now, how do you apply for this? I'll be giving another link in the description. This is for Texas. You could look into your own state to see what they offer. So that is because I had my kids. We were in Texas. The United States government, like I've said, pride themselves in taking care of kids. And remember when we newly came to the United States, a few months after we landed here, my firstborn that we had come with from Nigeria it was cold, more like cold, but then she had congestion. I had one of the nurses in church. She checked out, one of our mommies in the church checked out, and then she advised me that I took her to urgent care. That's like emergency care. So we went, when we got home that Sunday, we went in for that. And of course, because I told them that I don't have insurance, and of course they are going to be able to verify that I don't even have SSN at the time, I was able to get a good health care for my child at no fee. So please don't hide, don't keep to yourself and get your kids suffering because you don't have the money to take care of them. So go ahead and type in, search in your state where you are, look for cheap perinatal, and go ahead and consult them, ask your questions, place a call to them, and they will be willing to help you. Once again, thank you for joining me. Please make sure to like this video already and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Turn on your notification bell so that you can be alerted when I post new videos. And please share these videos to friends and loved ones that you think it might be helpful for. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye.